Okay, so where am I this week? Well, this past Friday was my birthday, so I did take care of everything that needed to be done, all of the job applications and the important stuff, well before my birthday. And then I went out on my birthday and on Saturday and kind of met up with a whole bunch of different people and had a good time. I probably had the most fun just hanging out with Sarah and playing some board games, but I am partial to board gaming. I got to finally play the new edition of Star Realms, the Colony Wars expansion with her, and it was different, but I think we both had a good time. I've decided one of my minor projects is going to be an authority counter for that game since I seem to be playing it quite a bit. So I'm going to try to make sure that I can play reasonably well. Also, it's it's just fun making things. Speaking of making things, I am still working on the table. I think I have figured out how I'm going to make the tabletop itself, which is good because the legs are getting finished very quickly. I've gotten another 2 legs done in this past little bit more than a week. So I'm up to 3 legs and I'm finishing up the last one. I went out on Friday and Saturday, and then on Monday I ended up going out again, but not for quite so much fun. I was helping my mother, and she's anyway, she needed some help. So I went down to help her take care of business and stuff. And I might have to go back and help her get the car inspection done on the car that's technically still in my name, at least for now. So that was the not completely terribly fun thing I did on Monday, but it's important. It's important that I stay active and do things and don't just dither away my time on nothingness. But since I was a little bit occupied with having a good time this past weekend, it was my birthday. It's time to celebrate. I didn't really get all that much done on any kind of projects or working. I mean, except for the excessive amount of actual project and design work I did. Anyway, I feel like I didn't get a lot done. But in talking to my mother, she said that it sounded like an interesting process, the actual making and design of the table. And she repeated, as I think I've said in the past, I probably ought to put together a portfolio so that when people say I have no experience, I can show them that yes, I do have some experience. It's just not working at a company. It's working on my own. But that project at least is coming along, and I've started documenting it just a little bit because I wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed for it. But yeah, it feels like not much has happened. I did vote. I went out and voted in the primaries since that's really where the election happens these days. So in the primaries, I'm registered unaffiliated, and I went out and I voted in. Well, I voted for the candidate that I'm hoping to be able to vote for president. So that was something. He has a very strong stance on student loans and financial reform. So I felt like those were very, very important topics. So that was really what got me. There really aren't any other candidates that I would be happy voting for. And I'm checking my notes. There's just, I feel like I did so little, but I know I kind of did a lot. I did a lot of driving. I guess that's why I feel like I didn't do much, but this week I don't have any firm plans. What plans I sort of kind of had, I had wrong in my head and on my calendar. So I'm going to have to make adjustments. I've not gone out and bought those books that I keep telling myself I'm going to have. I've been trying to get onto a better sleeping schedule, and ever since I made the trip on Monday, I didn't do really well on the trip. I couldn't sleep that night, so when it got to be about 5 o'clock, I was really tired, but I was also not tired because I'm an insomniac. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna go. Because I'm tired, but I can't sleep, so at least I don't have to worry about that. So I drove down to my mother's, which is about 2.5 hours away. I helped her most of the day, and then in the evening I drove 2.5 hours back. I did take a nap in the middle of the day for a couple of hours, but at least now I'm on something resembling a more normal schedule. So I'm going to try getting some books to help me read at night, and maybe a lamp so I don't have to have the bright overhead light on, and we'll see if that helps me sleep a little bit more reasonably. Other than that, I'm still looking for work and applying to jobs and considering my options.